Has President William Ruto realized that the only way out of this Gen Z effect and protests is none other than sitting down talks with Rigathi Gachagua? Welcome back to our channel. Press the subscribe button for more news bulletins on Royal News, the channel where you get all your trending politics. Has President William Ruto suddenly discovered that meeting Raila Odinga's demands is not only stabilizing Kenya, and that he needs to go an extra hand and meet the opposition, who is currently Rigathi Gachagua, for a sit-down talk? Currently, Raila Odinga is no longer the opposition leader because he joined the government, and the current opposition leader is none other than Rigathi Gachagua. Has William Ruto asked the Deputy President, current Kithure Kindiki, to initiate talks between Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto? Now, Kenya.co.ke made a context. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has called for dialogue between the opposition and the government to resolve the current demonstrations that have been happening across the country. On Monday, June 7th in Lamu, Kindiki said that working out solutions and talking with the other side, who have recently been fighting over who will win Kenyan support, are key to resolving peace and political harmony in the country. Now, the big question is, why do you think the current Deputy President Kithure Kindiki wants to initiate peace talks with Rigathi Gachagua, who is the current opposition leader and the key controller of Mount Kenyan region? Is the government intending to bring in on board Rigathi Gachagua with a given share in the government, maybe to sideline the broad-based government? More like an offer of cabinet secretaries, PSS, and let's call strategies to make the peace talks work. Do you think also paying him a certain money to get silent? Do you think also offering him money, more like bribing him out of the protests and criticizing the government, can also work to enable him silent and enable the government work out peacefully? But Gachagua doesn't look like the type to be bought off for silence. Do you think I'm right or wrong? He's not a man to be easily intimidated. More like making him retire from politics, getting him away from Kalonzo Musyoka, Matiang'i, so that the government can actually have easy access to Mount Kenyan region and the presidential candidates like Matiang'i and Kalonzo Musyoka. Let's just say Gachagua is the brain of the opposition currently. If they succeed in removing Gachagua as the brain, then opposition will be paralyzed and left with no alternatives. For a long time, Raila Odinga has been giving the government headaches. He gave Kibaki headache and he got into the government. Same way he gave Uhuru Kenyatta problematic events and navigated through the government. He gave William Ruto sleepless nights until William Ruto concluded with a broad-based agreement. So definitely they are looking for a way to silence the opposition. Raila Odinga was silenced by joining the government. Now he is in the government. And now we have Rigathi Gachagua. Could the same alternatives work to silence the opposition? But do you think Rigathi Gachagua can be on board with the same strategies to silence the opposition? Gachagua worked hard to be the Deputy President of Kenya, even gave 3/4 or almost all support from Mount Kenyan region to William Ruto to get him elected as president. But what did William Ruto do? He kicked him and threw him out of the government, which was termed as a betrayal. It was only fair that he could have been left to handle the political docket of vice president. You kick him out and bring in someone totally different, Kithure Kindiki, who didn't even contribute to 10% of Ruto's votes in the elections. It's unfair, right? The anger cannot easily go away. I don't know if you guys are actually viewing the political analysis in my way. Yeah, but nothing is impossible. If Raila Odinga for long has been giving the government sleepless nights and currently he is supporting William Ruto, then what is impossible? Really, nothing is impossible. Rigathi Gachagua can also defect and support William Ruto. We never know. I'm not saying that he will. This is just but my analysis. But do you think William Ruto can actually succeed in buying off the opposition that has been created by Rigathi Gachagua? What say have you for Rigathi Gachagua to initiate talks with the current government, yet we already have Raila Odinga in the government? Do you think the talks should actually be initiated between the government and Gen Z and not Rigathi Gachagua? Because the Gen Zs are the pioneers of these protests, and actually they are running the show currently with their hostile nature of political protests. And lastly, do you think Rigathi Gachagua can actually allow to be bought off as the current opposition to join the government? Do you think the Kenyan citizens' demands will be delivered in order to stop the narrative that has been ongoing, Ruto must go and one term? What say have you? Leave me your views on the comment section. Subscribe to Royal News Updates Media, the channel where you get all your trending politics. In case it's your first time to listen into Royal News, press the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you can be first to receive the news bulletins once we upload them. JD Ishmaels.